Hello, hello, hello. We are going to get started here in just a second. Let everybody get signed on here. We're going to have a conversation about your debt and what it looks like and how we're going to break free. That's the name of the live. I want to break free. I want to break free. How many times have we said that in our lives and we're still sitting right where we were? We cannot break free because we are loaded with wrong information. So I am here to tell you that there is a better way and you're going to get excited about your life again. And that's what I'm after. I am on a mission to find out how I'm going to help families, individuals, single parents break free from the struggle that they are in financially. And that's what we're going to be talking about here for just a few minutes. I'm going to run through a couple of examples here. I'm going to be showing you wisdom that you maybe have never ever heard before. So let's let a few more people load on here before we get started. If you're watching this on TikTok, you can go over to the YouTube channel, VANNtastic, and you're going to be able to see the whole live there in replay if you need to go catch up on something and catch this later. But this is good information, and I'm excited to share it with you. I'm not going to take much time today because this is our Saturday, and we've got like fun things to do, I'm sure. But I think that everyone deserves to hear what I'm getting ready to talk about. Again, if you're on TikTok, you can jump over to the VANNtastic channel on YouTube. The live is happening there as well, and the recording will be there if you want to pick up on it later today. If you have to run out and do whatever, we're here. Okay. All right. So we are going to get started. When we fall in love and marry that special soulmate, and we are so excited about our lives, money's probably the last thing on our mind. Let's just be real. So we end up living on a prayer, just like I said in the last live. Bon Jovi's living on a prayer. Tommy's laid off. Gina's working at the diner all day, worn out, no doubt. And she cries in the nighttime. But Tommy says, it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. No, Tommy, it's not okay. It's not okay. We're broke. We have no money. We're broke. And if you listen to the other gurus on the other channels, they're probably saying, well, it's your spending. Your spending is the reason that you're broke. If you would just stop spending money and get frugal, you're going to be able to pay your bills. I am calling BS all over that. Being broke has nothing to do with your spending. I'm going to show you some examples of why I'm a firm believer in that. So I am Christy VANN, founder and owner of VANNtastic Finances. And I work every single day with struggling families, and not families struggling with drug addiction, alcoholism, affairs. Families struggling with debt. I deem finances the #1 cause of marital strife and divorce because I have lived in that. I have lived in that, trying to figure out how you're going to make it from one day to the next, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, knowing that you do not have all of the payment that you need to make that house payment on the first. So maybe Maybe you think, okay, well, I'll wait till the 15th. Then, something will happen. The 15th will be here. I'll have the payment and then I'll beat it during that grace period. But wait a minute, the 15th shows up and something else came up and took your money. And so you're like, okay, well, I just hope it don't go over 30 days so it doesn't ruin my credit. How many of you in the house are having that right now? Because I've done that. And I'm here to tell you that you can be transformed into a life of crazy beautiful once you understand the bank. Okay, I'm going to start today though, and I usually don't do this, not out loud and proud, but I am going to do this because I feel like that your spiritual life has to be aligned with God so that you can receive the blessing of the wisdom you're getting ready to hear. In Proverbs 10, it says, "The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry." Well, hello? Wait a minute. I think that was just a promise. What about the one that says, the blessing of the Lord makes rich and he adds no sorrow with it? Woo! That just felt good. Okay. Okay. So you mean I don't have to struggle? Okay. All right. What about one gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and the one who waters will himself be watered. Oh, wow. Now we're getting somewhere. How about the slothful will not roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. Wow. And the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Wow. Let's keep reading. Let's go to Malachi. Will a man rob God? Yet you are robbing me, he says. But we say, well, how are we robbing you? You are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me. Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, he says. Wow, God, the creator of the universe, put him to the test? And see if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need. Wow. Let's keep moving on. Look at the birds of the air, it says in Matthew. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they are? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. And then in 2 Corinthians 9, it talks about being the cheerful giver. The point is this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. God loves a cheerful giver. Wow. If we did nothing but take that and build our life on it, because faith is action, then you're going to be a winner. You're going to be a winner. But when we take this and how we use the banking system to our benefit, then guess what? You're going to win. You're going to be blessed by God, but you're going to win in your financial world as well. Oh my goodness. It doesn't get any better than that. I didn't hear any lack in those scriptures I just read. I didn't hear any lack. I didn't hear poverty. I actually read that poverty is a curse. So you got to think all of this out. You've been given a mind. Let's use it. But let's talk about what this mortgage is doing. And let's wonder, is it our spending? Is it our spending that's taking us down? Or do we have an interest problem? Let's look. This is a 6% mortgage, $400,000. So 6% is a little below what it's averaging right now, about 7%. A $400,000 loan is the average American mortgage today, with a payment of $2,398 per month. Now let's break it down. You've heard me talk about the amortization schedule. Do you know how to use this thing? Do you understand what this means? Do you need to learn so it makes sense to you? Look at your monthly statement if you have a mortgage. $2,398 is your base payment. No principal, no property taxes, no insurance, okay? So if we do the breakdown, we see that $2,000 of this $2,398 is going to what? To pay off your home? No, it's going to interest. I said it. Okay, let's look at month 2. $1,998 is going to pay off your home? No, it's going to interest. Well, let's just have a little common sense conversation here for a minute. If I had $2,000 a month that I'm throwing away to interest, would I care that I'm, going to the movies with my kids, having an overnight stay, out of town, going on vacation once a year? Would that bother me in the least? I mean, $2,000 in a month, that's a lot of money. And what if for the second month with $1,998, I mean, come on, yeah, I would take that once a year. Somebody would give me $2,000. But every single month, this is happening to most American families out there. Okay, so if we look at this 6%, is it really 6%? If you've been watching the VANNtastic channel for any amount of time, you know how this mortgage interest works. And if you don't believe me, then please go pull your mortgage contract and look at what you signed. Look in the closing documents and see what it says about your percent that you're paying. You're going to be surprised when you look down the middle of the page on the last page of the closing cost section, and it says, oh, by the way, this 6%, well, that's not really what you're paying. No, you're paying 115.8%. I mean, doesn't the payment alone tell you that? Doesn't the payment, this $2,398, with $2,000 of that going to interest, does that not tell you that that is not 6%? That is painful. Wait a minute, you mean I'm just not a spender that is wasting my money? When these gurus out here are calling you an idiot and saying it's your fault you're broke at 65 and you don't have any money. It's your fault. Is it? Because how many 65-year-olds watching right now have been doing this for their whole lives? Your whole life you have spent making mortgage payments that is sucking any bit of wealth that you would have had in your 60s, sucked it dry. Why? Because you were sold this. You were told if you wanted a home, you had to do this. And then you have these gurus out here. Oh, they irritate me so much. I swear I can't even stand to hear their voices anymore because I feel like that Satan is whispering in my ear and in your ear saying, you know, if you'd been out working 2 jobs and delivering pizzas at night, you wouldn't be in debt right now. It's all your fault. If you didn't have to have those date nights with your wife, and if you didn't have to buy the sports equipment for your children, then you would have money. You wouldn't be in debt. That is so unfair to condemn a person who has a full-time job, who is doing what they need to be doing with work, and they're broke and suffering, and you're condemning them, saying, you're an idiot, it's your fault. Shame. I believe that there's good in most people. And I believe that most people want to do the right thing. We want to go to work and we want to supply for our families. We want to. But when you are doing what you've been called to do by the world, you've got to graduate from high school and you get a job. No, not necessarily. We need you to go to college. And we need you to spend 4 years at least in there. And we need you to pay us, you know, upwards of $30,000 a year, maybe. And then we need you to get a student loan, you know, because, you know, you need that college degree and we want you in debt before you ever get your first job. And we're going to give you a credit card to spend in there, not giving you any wisdom on how to spend it, but yeah, we're giving it to you. You can go spend it. Go spend it. Yeah, and then you're going to need a car. You're going to need a car. So let's just go get us a car payment. And then, of course, we're going to buy the house. We got to have the house, you know. We love the house. We need a home. So let's go get us a mortgage. I mean, are we not fed? Constantly fed? Oh my gosh, we have these billboards across my city, and it's a local credit union here. And wow, I saw where they did an 8.65% interest rate on a mortgage the other day. Oh my goodness gracious. And the big billboard says, a home is forever. Well, their payment's going to be forever, that's for sure. Because 8.65%, if 6% is 115.8%, what in the world is 8.65%? And how do you sleep at night selling that? Listen, people, this is so easy to get out of. If they just went the 30 years and paid this off, they're going to pay $863,354 for a $400,000 loan. That's double. So their total interest would be $463,354. I'm pretty sure that's why this name that they named this game, mortgage, mort is death, gage is pledge or grip. I'm pretty sure they knew exactly what they were doing when they were throwing you into this lifetime interest sucking loan. They knew exactly what they were doing. So, what happens when we understand how the line of credit can work to pay off this mortgage faster? Well, it gets super exciting, I'll tell you that much. So if you have a $10,000 chunk from a line of credit. A line of credit, remember, it's open, it's revolving. Your income can go in, your expenses can come back out. Are loans revolving? No. When you put this $2,398 into this mortgage, can you turn around and say, oh, wait, can I have $50? I need $50. They're going to look at you like you're stupid. No, you can't take money back. You just made your payment. How can I give it back to you? But when you're using a line of credit, you sure can. You sure can. Let's jump up and down in excitement. The line of credit is open-ended. That means you can put in as much as you want to in it, and you can pull out when you need it. Super important for you guys that are living at a negative cash flow, maybe. Maybe you're living where you're just breaking even right now. Okay? Well, I'm excited that you're excited, H. Chambers. That's awesome. Okay, so the lines of credit, I'm going to go over them quickly. If you're on TikTok, if you haven't seen the channel on YouTube, VANNtastic, go check that out. All of these videos are there. They're free. I'm not selling you anything. I want you to get free. Over 1,000 videos are on there. You just need to watch scenarios and see which one is like yours. And guess what? You're going to get free. Okay? All right. Do I get a line of credit? Yes. Okay, so lines of credit come in credit cards. We know this. Credit cards are only for chargeable expenses, though. You can't pay your mortgage payment with a credit card. A HELOC is a personal line of credit. A HELOC is a home equity line of credit. And then you've got BLOCs that are business lines of credit, CLOCs that are checking lines of credit. So many different things out there. Get serious, okay? Get serious. All right. Now, if we were to take a $10,000 chunk from a line of credit, leveraging the bank, it's not our $10,000. I never had $10,000 sitting anywhere. Do you? Taking the $10,000 from the bank line of credit and chunking it onto this mortgage principal would bring your home balance down from $400,000 to $390,000, right? $10,000 off. Then what's super exciting about this is that you're going to jump this schedule, this amortization schedule that has you set up. You are set up to make payments. You are set up to make payments until you die. So when you jump this schedule, and in this scenario, 10,000 onto this percent at this balance would be a savings of $50,000 in interest only. So you would no longer be paying this total interest. One $10,000 chunk would bring that down to $413,354. So $50,000 in interest was saved with one $10,000 chunk onto this loan, jumping 24 months. So you just went from a 30-year mortgage down to a 28 with one chunk. So the idea here is to get educated. Get educated in what tool you're using at the bank, and then get excited because, oh my goodness, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to get you straightened out financially in ways you never dreamed were possible. So the idea here is to get the American family and people all over the world educated about what's going on in your finances. Because once you figure this out, your finances have to work out. If you're working, they have to work out. And is it going to be any different? I mean, if you, wow, get the second job. If you feel like that's what you need, get the second job. Get deliver pizzas at night, do Uber, whatever. Because that's only going to speed up the process of what you're doing here with Velocity Banking. Good question. How do you pay back the $10,000? So let's just go on into that. Do I have an eraser? All right, so they ask, how do you pay the $10,000 back? Love that question. This is the easiest question to answer. Okay, this ought to, well, I might as well. What the heck? Okay. All right, so you get a $10,000 line of credit that you took and chunked onto this mortgage. And let's say this is 15%. We'll say it's a really high interest rate. Remember, this was only 6%, and you paid, so you saved $50,000 in interest only, and jumped 24 months ahead on the schedule. Okay? So, depending upon what you make, okay, you are very welcome. Depending upon what you make, you would put that income into this line, okay? So, remember, these are revolving. So, if I make $5,000 a month, and I put $5,000 into this line, then when it's time to pay my house payment, I would pay the payment here. Pull it back out, pay it. When it's time to pay my car payment, I would pull it out back into my checking. Okay? Because these lines of credit are usually with the same bank that you have your checking account. So my income comes into the checking, I transfer it into the line. Then, as I need money for gas, for my utilities, for my subscriptions, for my car insurance, for my kids' sporting equipment, for my Hulu, whatever, you will pull it back out of the line into your checking, and you will pay what you need to pay. Food, yeah, food, we have to eat, right? So food, everything comes out of the line. All right, so how does this work? So I give examples of this every day. I'm just going to make up some numbers here to show you an idea. But if you bring in your income of, okay, I got a pen going out. Time for trash. So your income is going in, it comes into the checking account, and then you transfer it over into the line of credit. Now, it doesn't matter if you're paid daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. It's going to be great. So just put it into the line as you get paid. That's what I do. All right. Now, you're going to have to pay your expenses. So let's just add a total of expenses with the house payment, rent, whatever you pay, food, gas, utilities, you know, car payments, whatever you pay. Let's say that it's $4,500 per month is your total expenses. All right. So you're back up to 9,500. And now let's calculate this 15% interest, because I'm doing the worst case scenario here. So the income goes in 5,000, your expenses come back up. So let's calculate what the interest might look like on 15% on the average daily balance. And let's say it's $100. So $100 interest, 9,600. Okay, month 2. Your income goes in again. 2. Now you're down to 4,600. Now, what happened to the payment that was due on this line of credit when I put my income in? It was satisfied. Why was it satisfied? Because if the payment is $100 that they're charging for the 15% interest, then when your income goes in, you satisfy that payment. So a lot of times people watching videos, I'll see comments underneath the videos that say, yeah, but you didn't include the payment for the line of credit. Well, if you watch the video, I showed you where the income going in is what satisfies any amount due. So there is no payment due now because you put your income in and it's been satisfied. Okay. All right. So let's move on to month 2. And I'm going slow here because I just am. Because I'm one of these people, teach it to me like I'm 5. Because with math I am. So I go slow. So if I'm boring you, then you can go somewhere else. But this is the way I do it. Okay, so 4,500 in expenses again come out throughout the month. Okay. So we're at 9,100. Now let's add interest. You know what? Let's just add the high interest again. I don't care, do you? Because the interest on these are simple. Okay, so now we're down to 9,200 in 2 months. You've paid 800 total, right? Even after your interest is charged and everything. So if we take the interest at the high, how much interest are we going to pay on this for the 2 years that we skipped with this one $10,000 chunk? Well, let's just do the average. So 24 months times, let's just do the high first. So if we sit here and let the interest just every single month, $100, $100. Let's say we did that for 24 months. How much is that? What is 100 times 24? $2,400. Now, you're never going to pay that if you're doing velocity banking, but I'm showing you this is $2,400 for this $10,000 on a 15% simple interest line of credit. What did you save in 24 months on one $10,000 in the mortgage? $50,000. So you were going to pay $50,000 for this $10,000 in a mortgage, but we took it out of a line and put it into the mortgage, and max, if we left it sitting and didn't pay it off ever, their max is going to be $2,400 compared to $50,000. Are you serious? And you sit there even thinking that this could be a wrong process, a scam? Now, this is where the part that a guru could come in and say, you're just stupid. If you think that the scam is a $2,400 interest product in 24 months compared to a $50,000 interest product in the same amount of time. So the idea is this is going to be paid off way before 24 months, and it ain't even about that. It's not even about that. It's about stopping what's happening on these high interest loans. Okay, so let's go into month 3. So month 3, we put in the 5,000 income again. $4,200. We can figure out the interest. So let's just start calculating the interest the way the bank will. So the bank is going to give a base interest off of the average daily balance. So the high is 9,200, right? And then the low, after we put in our income, would be 4,200 approximately. And let's divide that by 2 and then times 15% divided by 12. That means we're down to paying $84 in interest with these numbers. Okay. So we're starting month 4. 4,284. We're going to add in our expenses, 4,500 for month 3. I'm sorry, we're still in month 3. So expenses for month 3, 8784. All right. Then we've already charged the interest, so now we'll put in our 5,000 again. Income for month 4. Oh, wow, what's happening here? What's happening here? Is this like, wow. So we're in our 4th month of income, down to 3784. And now we're just going to pay our expenses back out that we pay already. Are you not already paying for your food every month and your gas? You're already paying your mortgage payment, right? So we're what? Just using it out of the line of credit now? So how long will it take us to pay off this line of credit? Let's just do our numbers here and see. And then we have 4,500 in monthly expenses. So that means that in 22.5 months, you will have paid off this 10,000 chunk doing nothing but this right here. You saved $50,000 in 2 years on your mortgage payments by doing that. Now, the fact is that we don't run the line of credit down to 0, okay? We don't run the line of credit down to 0 because we're picking up more debt and bringing it in. So when this gets down to where you have 1,000 or 2,000 available, you may draw a credit card in. When you draw the credit card in, your expenses go down, right? Because you no longer have the credit card payment. The larger the line, the more you can do with it. That's where the HELOC comes in. I deal with people every day that have 4 and 5 and 10 credit cards that are just small monthly payments every month. And they transfer all of those balances into one line of credit with their HELOC in this scenario. And they can have them paid off in 6 months. After they've been paying on them for years. Why? It's because we're in a revolving line of credit, just like I started this live out with. The revolving line of credit is the game changer. Knowing how the interest works. If you understand that the line and the loan are 2 different things, 2 totally different products, 2 totally different tools, simple and compound interest, 2 totally different things, 2 different measurements like Celsius and Fahrenheit. Just two different scales that measure temperature, measure the same thing, just in different ways. That is the same thing that is happening when you're using a line and a loan. Okay, so the line, again, line of credit revolves. It's open-ended. Your money, so your checking account, if it's here, this is your line of credit. When you get paid, your income goes in. When you need to buy gas, you pull it back out into the checking. When you need to buy food, you pull it back out. When you need to pay your car payment, you pull it back out. The loan does not allow this. Only one way in. Your income goes in, and there it stays. You cannot pull that back out again. They will not let you. You have to refinance your home, and that's what they're so excited for you to do. Oh, please, 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 please refinance your home. Please, please, we want you to go back and pay all this interest again. Please do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Because once you've made this interest that we were talking about earlier, and you paid this $50,000 over 2 years and $100,000 over 4 years, and then you get those refinance papers, guess what? Guess what? You get to pay it all over again. So when you refinance it, they so excited. That mortgage loan officer is so excited, that commission that he gets too. All those origination fees again. So excited that you get to pay all of this again, resetting it. So all the work you did paying on 4 years of mortgage payments is gone. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Well, could be that statistics show that every American family is either going to sell their home within 7 years and move, or they're going to refinance it. So we're going to have the options ready for you. Isn't that unfair? Isn't that unfair to do somebody that way with their money? And then you got the gurus out here saying it's your fault that you're broke. That sounds like a demon to me. That it's your fault that you're broke, even though you're following exactly what the system tells you to do. I think that there's another way. I think that there's a very, very good way. And I think it's with you getting educated on how this works so that you can stop the system. Okay? Pop-ho, I'm excited about the masterclass too. Thank you. I want you guys to be excited about your life. When I was reading the scriptures earlier out of here, I didn't hear lack. I didn't hear lack in there. Did anybody hear lack out of those scriptures that I read? I didn't. Actually, I've read that the curse is poverty. So if poverty is a curse, why are you living in it? There are so many answers to your financial need. You have just got to get educated, people. The videos are free. I say that every live I do. They're free. If it's a scam, then don't do it. But I think I figured out what the scam is. And it's called this thing right here, the mortgage. And any other loan that you have that is sucking the interest out of your income. And I want you to get free. Actually, I'm declaring in the name of Jesus Christ that the wisdom falls on you right now, that the favor of the Lord falls all over you, all over your lives, all over your family's lives, and that you are going to get free, because you are going to be able to give like you've never given before. You're going to be able to live like you've never been allowed to live before, because you were chained up and in bondage and a slave to the lender. And I'm declaring that's over, because you have gotten some wisdom that's going to change your financial life. Freedom. It's my pleasure to help you any way I possibly can. I can't meet one-on-one with everyone. I don't have time for that. But I'm doing the best I can with the time I've got. I offer the master classes, 5 weeks of learning. I mean, you're not going to get any better than that. Thank you, believe it. I offer the 3-day webinars where I bring all of the guys together and we really, really get you so educated in the different options that are available out there for debt elimination, for building wealth, for getting into trust and what trusts are even. I didn't even know that. We have my high performance coach. He's coming in to talk to us. Alex is coming in to talk to us about building your dream business. I mean, we're going to be talking about mindsets. We're going to be talking about Money Max. We have so much in store for September the 1st, and I hope that you're able to join us. If not, I completely understand. And I appreciate all of your kind words. I appreciate that so much. You know, if you've got a low credit score, then work on revolving those credit cards more. $5 and $10 a week. Doesn't have to be a large amount. You know, go to the grocery store today, spend 25 bucks, put it back on the card tomorrow in a payment, 25 bucks. Just revolve. When you revolve those credit cards more, you're making them reset the interest cycle every time you put a payment in there. Resetting that interest cycle works for us. Okay? No, 760 is great. You can get anything you want with a 760. Do the classes start in September? There's some available now. The master class, the 5 weeks, starts August the 2nd. I'll put that link here in the YouTube channel chat, and I'll put it underneath the YouTube channel video that we're doing right now, this live, so that you can join that if you would like to. But you know what? It's just a master course that's going to teach you everything that you need to know about velocity banking and what your worksheet looks like. We're going to try to do a lot of worksheet help if at all possible. It depends on our time. Okay. I try to hit individual worksheets though, because I want to get you the help that you're looking for on your individual numbers. Okay. So I am putting this in the YouTube chat right now, and you're welcome to check that out if you would like to. And this is the 5 week. We're about full on it. I really think I've already reached a level I would like to quit taking people in that masterclass, only because I like to leave time at the end of each session where people can ask questions. And so I don't like getting them too full, just so that we have time to answer some questions. You're going to have an opportunity to send in your questions every week to get answered during the class. So that's going to be really good. We're, like I said, we bring in infinite banking practitioners to talk during a class. We bring in Money Max to talk during a class. So the idea is that you get a lot of information in the 5 weeks, which is awesome. And then we're also having the Labor Day rally, I call it, Financial Mastery, on September the 1st through the 3rd, where Chris Noggle himself is going to be coming in to talk. I love that. I love that. We're 68 years old and mortgage is paid off, but we have 25,000 in debt. Advice: you need a line of credit, like we just talked about. The line of credit will pull that debt over into a revolving line, and now you can lose the payments that you're making and start chunking into that line to get that debt paid off. I hope that's enough information. Please go to the YouTube channel. Look under the playlist. There's some videos under the playlist that are named, like with credit cards, it's the credit card debt strategies. If you have a HELOC, it's going to show you HELOC versus mortgage. So there's all kinds of information in there. If you're denied credit and you're wanting to get started with some kind of velocity option right now, the Money Max will help you with that. Okay? All right, I am going to jump off of here. Guys, you hang tight. Keep learning, keep growing. It's so exciting when you get out of the struggle of debt. I'm super excited to have shared this information with you. I want you all to be excited about your life again. And you know what? It happened so quickly for me that it feels like I went from worthless to wealthy within a day, just because the knowledge of I had something to sit down and work on. I had the wisdom that I had an option I didn't even know about. And the day that I heard about velocity banking and I heard about how to use a line of credit, it opened up a whole new world for me. I was amazed. I've been amazed ever since. I've been amazed how I went from having, 3 girls, totally could not afford anything, was stressing out, couldn't sleep at night, working 7 days a week, trying to do something to bring in extra money. And when the line of credit came and I learned how to use the bank, it was all for naught. All of that overtime I was doing. I was working hard labor on Saturdays, mowing yards and, weed eating, just to bring home. Oh, I remember it was like $35 for all that work that I did. And I used to think, $35, and I'm like, no, Christy, now, no, you're doing this. Dave Ramsey told me to go out and work extra because I was under the baby steps plan at that time. And I was like, no, stay in there. $35, that's paid my water bill for this month. Yeah, $35, that paid for my subscriptions this month to, Netflix or whatever. $35 a week was what I was doing. And, in my mind, that paid my car insurance for the month. So I was thinking, yep, you gotta work more, work harder, work hard. No, how about work smarter? How about work smarter? Okay. Okay. So how about we work smarter, because we get educated and we invest some time in ourselves to learn that there are better ways to do our finances. And I want you to get super excited about that, because the channel teaches you everything you need to know. And I'm excited to share it. Thank the Lord for it. Don't thank me, thank Him, because He brings us the wisdom. All glory goes to Him. Okay? I hope that you guys just run in your day today. I just hope that you have had the skies open up to you, and that you see hope that you maybe have never seen, or not in a long time anyway. Because today is the first day of the rest of your life, and it's exciting out there. So I am super excited for you. Thank you so much, Believe It. Oh, you did not need to do that. I appreciate you so much for giving. You're a giver. And when you give, the measure you pour out will be measured back to you. Is that not a beautiful promise? That makes you want to go out and buy somebody's gas today, doesn't it? You know those lines you can do through the restaurant where you pay for the person behind you? I love that. I will do 2 and 3 and 4 cars at a time. I love that. Give and it shall be given. It's more blessed to give than to receive. I used to think, oh yeah, that's just, yeah, more blessed to give than, yeah, sure it is. It is. It doesn't mean blessed as in whatever the blessing to that person. That's just, you're a reflection of what you're doing. So whoever you are right now is just a reflection of what you've been doing with your actions in the past and with your words. But if you change that right now today, your future is going to be different. Declare over your life that you are financially free. Declare over your life that you're out of debt, and watch it unfold. Your results today is what you've been doing in the past. The past is gone. It's like the wake on a boat. You know, when you look back and you're on a boat and you're moving this way and you look back, all of that stirred up water you see back there that eventually calms back down, that's all your past is. And you may have been stirring and churning up a bunch of junk yesterday, but you just keep moving and change your ways and learn what you need to do and watch that wake calm down and eventually go away. That's what your debt's going to look like. That is what your life is going to look like. Total peace. Total peace. That's what I want for you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yes, always give to the waiters and the waitresses. They work hard for what they do, and if they are of value, then you tip them even better. Love to tip them. We have a rule about that. Nobody's going to serve us that we don't serve back. Isn't that great? I know, right? Okay, you guys have a great